Here at eFIXX, we love tackling the subject of how to become an electrician, and I'm joined today by Jake Hardcastle that took a route that sometimes you hear as, I got myself a JTL apprenticeship. That's what you did. Did you work for JTL then?
Didn't work for JTL, no. They just, basically I applied for JTL, you register with JTL, they oversee your apprenticeship if you like.
Okay, so JTL was established in 1990 and as a non-profit organisation, which effectively is a charity, and they help you get an apprenticeship. So you would have had to have done something. When you registered maybe online, you're normally asked then to do a skills test. Is that what you had to do?
Yes, I had to go do a basic maths and English test as well as a colourblind test.
Okay, you've passed all of those, so you got a job with JTL?
Nope, not got a job at that stage.
Okay, so we've done that in the process of trying to become an electrician, and that at the moment maybe hasn't been fruitful for you. So you're 16, you left school. What did you end up having to do?
So as well as looking for apprenticeships myself, handing out CVs, making phone calls, emails, actually enrolled on a full-time level 2 course.
Right, okay, so you've taken it that you haven't got a job when you've left school, you've decided to get some experience of bending conduit,
yeah,
clipping cables, and some of those qualifications you're going to need up the road. But you were luckily, in that time at college, the first 6 months, you actually did get contacted about an apprenticeship. Can you talk me through that process and how it links to the JTL?
Yep, so probably just over half a year into my full-time course at Leeds College of Technology, which is now Leeds City College, I got a phone call from the company where I started my apprenticeship, inviting me in for an interview. They had been in contact with JTL, had a list of people looking for an apprenticeship in their area, invited me in for an interview, and that were it, got the job.
Okay, so if you got to this part, I'll just take a deep breath there. That sounds too good to be true. And often, things that are too good to be true are. In my experience, it's wonderful, and I've seen people in the past do that route, but it is incredibly difficult to sit on a course or sit at home hoping the phone rings because somebody happened to contact the JTL and happened to choose you off a list. Yeah. It does happen, but don't rely on it. I think you still need to pursue companies that then might send you through the JTL route. Definitely. So JTL effectively become your broker.
Yeah. And
they will then decide whether they're going to do the underpinning knowledge themselves and the on-site visit or split it up. Now, you didn't do your underpinning knowledge with JTL. Who did you do your underpinning knowledge with?
No, so I did it with Leeds City College.
So they gave you, what, a level 2 and a level 3 qualification?
Yes, and it was the City and Guilds 2330 that I did.
Okay, so you're doing that knowledge, is that 1 day a week or were you on block release?
I was on block release, so I went to college 2 weeks, every 8 weeks, I think it was.
Okay, to take that knowledge in, did it take 3 years as it takes most people?
Yeah, 3 years at college, yeah.
So you did 3 years at college and got up to level 3, 2330.
Yeah.
That's not enough though, is it? Because we know that, often called the MVQ, you need to build that site evidence in order to get another element of it. Now, was that managed through JTL or was that done through the college?
That's right, so that was managed through JTL, so they would come out and visit me on a job from inception to completion. It had to be quite a large job, so it would start with all your health and safety through to first fix, second fix and inspection and testing.
So you've got a large job, you're obviously having to gather evidence,
yep.
Do you take photographs and things like that?
Yep, so photographs at each stage and information going through what I'm carrying out.
So you start building that up, and is one job enough? Was one large job enough as evidence of obviously passing that MVQ?
No, it was 2 large jobs when I did it.
So that's also going to take a good while. So that's all part of the bigger program. So is that making your apprenticeship effective about 4 years?
Yeah, so 4 years, just over 4 years, I think it was for me.
Okay, so let's go for it. I've completed what they're going to call the MVQ. They've come out on site and proved that I can do the work. I've got my level 3 at college. Am I now an electrician?
No, not yet.
What have I now got to do?
So I then had to do my AM2 assessment when I was ready.
And when you say when you're ready, that's a cooperative, isn't it? I think, isn't it JTL, you and your college have to decide as a collective that you're ready for it?
Yeah, that's right. So once my employer and college think I'm ready, then that's when I was put in for it.
Yeah, because there's the thing that we now know, having taught ourselves now, that there's a thing called timely completion.
Yeah.
In order that JTL can draw down your funding, they're your broker, so the government give a funding to train apprentices. They've given some of their money to your college.
Yeah.
They've kept some of their money so they can do their in-house on-site assessing element of your course, and they've got a vested interest in you completing it in time to draw down the maximum amount of funding. Yeah. So let me go for it. You've completed your level 3 at college. You've got your MVQ and you've got your AM2. Jake, are you now an electrician?
Now a qualified electrician, yeah.
Brilliant. You're a qualified electrician. What's the first thing you're probably going to do once you've got your qualified status?
So first thing I did was apply for my gold card, which everybody wants, don't they?
Absolutely. So you've got a gold card and on there it says electrician.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Now that's not the end of the gold card route for you, because you can get approved electrician status is generally the one people want to go to next. What's the advantage of being an approved electrician over an electrician?
Yep, more money. Simple as that.
It's all about the money.
Yeah.
So they change the rules all the time, so make sure you look into it as and when you apply for your ECS Gold Card.
Yeah.
Now, it's a number of years have to pass between being an electrician and applying for approved, and they normally expect another qualification. Will you expect to do another one?
Yeah, so I think it was 3 years as experience as an electrician and the 2391 inspection and testing qualification.
So you had to get the testing qualification and a number of years pass.
Yeah.
Then you applied, are you now an approved electrician?
Now an approved electrician,
Okay,
yeah.
and then obviously increases the amount of money that you can earn. So let's peel that back then. So JTL, if we've got on a JTL apprenticeship, you don't actually work for JTL, they broker your apprenticeship. You still have to go to college, you still have to build effectively an MVQ or a portfolio of work. You still have to complete an AM2. It's changed now, it's AM2S, isn't it?
AM2S now, yeah.
And that links into nicely, why are you wearing a red t-shirt?
So I've been working with eFIXX, been working with you guys for the week.
Okay, I thought these were exclusively for the founders of eFIXX, but you've got a red one on. So you've been doing some steel conduit with us, haven't you?
Yep, so I've joined you guys doing a series of videos on steel conduit, starting with the basics, looking at all the accessories and the conduit bender, going into actually fabricating 90-degree bends, sets and so on.
And what's really helpful is actually we're leading to a video where you have to put a bend and a set in a piece of conduit, which is very poignant when you're doing an AM2S, which is the new version of AM2, isn't it?
Yep, definitely. They've got to fabricate a bend with steel conduit, which, like you say, is a set and a 90 bend in the AM2S.
Okay, and Jake's going to show you how to do that, and I'm going to stand there holding the camera. So check out that video. And how do you check out those videos? Well, they're in the link in the description. There is a playlist on our eFIXX YouTube channel all about steel conduit, so I recommend you check those out. But again, we've left that to the end because people who invest in themselves will get to the end of the video. You're the sort of person that will go out and take every opportunity in order to get yourself an apprenticeship. It's not an easy task. Don't rely on somebody else doing it for you. So you didn't rely effectively on JTL getting your apprenticeship because you went to college and did that level 2 while you were still pursuing that apprenticeship.
Right, yeah.
It's not easy. There are different ways in order to become an electrician, and we're exploring as many of those ways as we can here at eFIXX. If you've got a different route into the industry, please leave us a comment. Maybe that's something that we can investigate. If you've got any questions you'd like to ask me or to Jake, especially in the conduit series, okay, please leave them below and I'll let Jake get back to as many as he can.